Hey guys, Kaz here, and I know it's really late, but I'm finally going to be talking about all the things that I read in March. So let's just jump straight in. So first of all, I read Witches. This is a horror graphic novel. It says volume 1 on it, but it's several years old and I'm pretty sure there's no volume 2, so it happens. But this one, I was hoping for more. It was quite confusing the way it was drawn, and sometimes the characters muddled together and stuff. I'll show you an example of the way it's drawn, because all of the pages are like normal pages, but then they've got loads of like splattery watercolour on the top, which sounds interesting, but sometimes it was too much and it's just mixing together. I'm trying to find a page that's not too spoilery but also gives you an idea of what's going on. So if you look at this, hopefully, my ring light's a bit shiny, but it's like there's a picture under there, but also there's loads of splatter, and like it just, sometimes the pages you're reading it and it was kind of hard to figure out what the shit was going on. And also the story's quite meandering. It'll go from one thing to the other and you can't quite like figure out if this is a character you've met before or not, and then a bit later on you figure out it is because of the way they're talking, but then it's like you've not got the context and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like it could be better. I do normally like horror-y comics, but this one, it just felt like it was just too disjointed for me. It was alright. I think I give it like 3 or 3.5 stars. It wasn't terrible, but not the best. Oh, I didn't actually say anything about what it is. So it's like, well, you can gather the witches, and then there's these weird evil creature-y things that come and get people. And then like creepy stuff ensues. Next up, it was World Book Day, so I read 2 of the World Book Day books. The first one I read was This Story is a Lie by Benjamin Dean. This is for older teens because World Book Day is you get a voucher at school and then you can get one of these books for free via your voucher. This is for older readers, and yeah, I enjoyed this one. It was set in a school. It's called This Story is a Lie right at the beginning. It's like, remember, everything in the story is a lie. So, you know, it's going through, stuff's happening to our main character, but it's like, is it happening? Is it what we think it is? Is it somebody else? Is it something else? So yeah, I quite enjoyed reading it. I do feel like it was a little bit, it didn't make the most sense, but it was enjoyable. Yeah. And then also Kira Millward Hargrave had one, so obviously I had to pick that one up because I really enjoy her writing. This is called The Wolf Trials. I believe there's a series, yeah, In the Shadow of the Queen Wolf, In the Storm of and the Seahawk. I should probably read that series because I did really enjoy this one. It's about this girl whose mum is queen, and the queen has these wolf riders, and there's a competition to become a wolf rider, and our main character wants to do it, but you know, she's not meant to. Like, people don't even know she exists. She's a secret, and it's just going through all the trials and stuff, and I really enjoy this one. So yes, another Kira Millward Hargrave book that I enjoyed, of course. After that, I read As Good as It Gets by Ramesh Ranganathan. This is non-fiction, and it's just loads of little snippets, life lessons, as it says here, life lessons from a reluctant adult. So it just goes through all these different things, and he tells anecdotes about stuff that happens to him and his life and his family and stuff, and it was really fun. Laughed out loud several times. It was interesting. It was really quick pace. All the like sections were maybe like 3, 4, 5, 6 pages long, so it was really easy to get through and really fun. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one, so boom. Next up, I'll talk about these both at the same time because the same series. I read volume 5 and volume 6 of Something is Killing the Children. So, like, in myself, I can't remember what happens in each of them, but on my ratings, I rated number 5 higher, so that one must have been better. But obviously this whole story, because I'm reading them all, it's just like, the story in general is really cool and I really enjoy it. I rated this one 4.5 and this one 4. And this is a story about monsters exist and kids can see them, but adults can't because adults don't believe in them. And then like monsters going around murdering loads of folk, and our main character is a monster hunter who can see them, and yeah, it's going around trying to save people, but there are also loads of inner politics of this group of monster hunters, the Slaughterhouse. And yes, very much enjoying this series. Need to carry it on. Absolutely love it. This is the sort of artwork. I went for something not too spoilery, not too gruesome. But yeah, absolutely love this series. What more can I say? we're halfway through, so let's head on over to a message from the Kitty Kitties, and I'll be back with the last sector of books. So next up, if you watched my last video, which was like a haul of the first quarter, Sci-Fi randomly sent me 3 manga by accident that I didn't order, and this was one of them. So I read My Lesbian Experience of Loneliness by Nagata Kabe. This is non-fiction, and I really enjoyed this. Amazing, great free book. This is, as you can tell, the author is a lesbian, but this book is a lot to do with mental health. It's a lot to do with like loneliness, obviously, feelings, not feeling like she's good enough for her parents, not feeling like she's good enough just in general. And the artwork in here is really good as well, because it's like, it's black and white, but then throughout there's just pink bits throughout the whole thing. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. She talks about having an eating disorder and having like lots of anxiety and stuff like that. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one. So thanks Sci-Fi for sending me this for free. After that, I read The Unwritten Volume 6. This is a series that I've been reading for a little while now. I just keep getting them when I can find them cheap. I need to get the next 2 because I have Volume 9, but not 7 and 8. But yeah, this is a series about this guy whose dad was an author, and it's kind of like the main character of his dad's books is called Tommy and he's called Tom, so everyone associates him with the character of the book. It's like a wizardy guy. And then just like loads of fantastical stuff happens, words have magic, and there's this secret society after him, and like all these weird stuff keeps going on. And yeah, I'm very much enjoying this. I feel like I never see anybody talk about this series, but it's really good, it's really interesting. Here's the artwork, whoops. So this is the sort of artwork we have in here. The only problem with this though is sometimes it goes into like past stories, because it's a lot about stories. This whole thing is like stories have magic. If you make a story up, it can come alive and become real life. But it has this thing, when the stories are set in olden times, it has this sort of writing in it, and it's really annoying because it's really hard to read. Look at this script writing. You have to put so much effort into trying to read this. So that's the one thing I don't like about this series. Whenever it comes up with these bits, it's a slog to get through because I'm like, what are you trying to say? It's too cursive for a comic. But other than that, very much enjoy this series. Definitely need to carry it on. And yeah, read it if you like fantastical things about stories and words having magical powers and secret societies and stuff. After that, I read Otherworldly by F.T. Lukens. This one I enjoyed, it was a fun time. I still didn't enjoy it as much as the first F.T. Lukens book that I read, which was In Deeper Waters, so still haven't gone past that. But it was fun. It was about this, it's about this person, Ellery, who is working lots to try and send their parents money because they're living in perpetual winter, and then this other guy, Knox, who is a familiar of one of the gods, and how their paths cross, meet, all this stuff happens, magical things. They're trying to figure out why their part of the world isn't getting any summer for the past 5 years, and also a romance is blossoming. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but there was just something that like I feel like I wasn't invested enough in their relationship. I feel like there could have been more to make me care about them as a pairing, which is the bit that sort of lost me while I was reading it. So I'm like, it's alright them pretending that they like each other. They're like, oh, because it tells them from both sides, it has chapters from both sides. But I feel like we didn't get enough, you know? Give me more. Make me feel, make me want to kick my feet in happiness when they're together, but I didn't get that. But I enjoyed them as individual characters and the characters around them, like the side characters and stuff. So yeah, I did enjoy it, but I feel like there could have been more to make me root for them as a team. After that, I read The Light Thieves Search for the Black Mirror by Helena Duggan. I read the first book of this last year, I think, and I really enjoyed it. This is a middle grade series, a trilogy, and in the first book, so the world has been tilted on its axis, and which means that the sun has gone dim, and then there's this billionaire guy that's saying, hey, if everybody comes to this one point, the tipping point, we can tip it back and then the sun will come back. So come to the tipping point, and then people go to the tipping point and then they're never heard of again. But you know, he's definitely legit, because you know how billionaires are definitely legit and never evil. So yeah, it feels very of this time, billionaires, technology, doing dodgy stuff, looking after themselves and their higher friends, and like fuck everybody else that's just a normal human being. It's very that. So yeah, really enjoyed this series. The first book I really enjoyed, the second book I really enjoyed. It's these three friends trying to figure out what's going on. Obviously in the first book, the main character's sister goes to the tipping point and then never heard of again, so he's trying to figure out what's going on, and then he figures out some things, and then in the second book they're like racing against time to try and stop stuff that's happening. So yeah, really good series. I never hear anybody talk about this. I think it's got like hardly any reviews on Goodreads and stuff, so if that sounds interesting and you like middle grade, give it a read, because good times. And then last but not least, I read book 4 and book 5 in Y: The Last Man. This is a series that I've been really enjoying. It's basically what it says on the tin. So all of the men die out in the world just at the same time. Boom. All the men, all the mammals that are male, except this one guy. This one guy exists still, and so does his male pet monkey. And they're trying to figure out what the shit is going on. Why is he the last man? You know, why the last man? Why? And there's loads of different things going on here. There's a bunch of different like politics and stuff. Just because all the men are gone, it doesn't mean that people are not trying to be in power, or people are not trying to do what they want and stuff. It's got different things going on. There's the Amazons, which are like these women that are very feminists, but even though all of the men are dead, they still want to be like aggressive to feminazi, as you will. Be aggressive to other women because they're the better women, I don't know. And then there's also like these Israeli women that are doing stuff and like wanting war, because if we're warring with other people, then it means we won't war with ourselves, so we'll be like at peace as a nation. And this series came out quite a while ago, so you know what I mean, like the Israelis warring, you know, it's quite an old series, so just throwing that out there. And there's also the American politics, so a lot of the Republican wives are angry. They feel like they should be in power. Their husbands died and they feel like they should automatically get their seat, but then the Democrats are like, no, it should be a vote-in. That's kind of how we do things here. So there's a lot of different things going on in the background, but the main storyline is following our main character guy, who has this Secret Service woman who's like helping him out and trying to keep him safe, because people either want to like kill him or capture him or have sex with him, or like all these different things. And also a doctor woman who's like trying to figure out what the shit is going on and why he is the last man and his monkey is the last man. Because right at the beginning, before everyone died, she was doing stuff with like genetics and stuff and gave birth to some sort of clone. So it's like she's got the scientific know-how to like figure out what the crap is going on. So yeah, really enjoyed the series so far. I have up to volume 10, I think. There's a few more after that, but yeah, definitely a great series. And it's kind of interesting to read now and see all the different things that you think, those sort of things are still around now. When did this come out? I think it was like early 2000s. Volume 4 was 2004, so early 2000s is when this came out, and yeah, very much still relevant today. So yeah, that was everything. Oh, did I show you what it looks like? I can't remember. This is the sort of artwork that's in here. It's one of them comics that has like the matte pages rather than the glossy ones. But yes, that is all the things that I read in March. Let me know if you've read any of these, if any sound interesting, or just let me know what you read in March. It's there for words, so do it if you want. Like if you want, comment if you want, subscribe if you want, bone if you want. And yeah, I will see you in a few days or whenever with my next video. Bye.